Welcome back to the Arena Gridiron. I'm Cody Kessler, and I'm joined by Steelers linebacker Nick Herbig. Nick, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, bro, thanks for joining us on I know it's your bye week right now, so you're trying to enjoy that little break, but we appreciate you taking the time, man. So a lot of people probably don't know this, but you grew up in Hawaii. How did your background in Hawaii shape your approach to football and where you are today?
I think just like the family aspect of it, like I grew up around all my cousins, so we were outside playing every day, and just building that competitive spirit. And like, there's gonna be a winner, there's gonna be a loser, and if you're not first, you last. So that's just how we grew up, and I think that helped shape me into having that competitive spirit on the field.
That's awesome. And I also want to ask you too about, now you do something back home called Herbig, or it's called Herbig Gives, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you talk to us a little bit about that?
So it was a nonprofit thing that actually started in college. In one of my classes, we had a project we had to do and make a social media account. And I decided this is a good time to, kind of start something where I can give back to my community back home. And it's grown exponentially since that time. And it's now a certified nonprofit. And, our goal is to give back to the kids on Hawaii. Hawaii in general, but like Hawaii is such a recognized, underprivileged island back home. There's not a lot of opportunities there. Like there's only 3 high schools, and
Wow.
so kids don't really get the opportunity, nor do the parents have like education on what it is for those kids to get to the next level, whether that's sports or school and whatnot. Me and my brother were fortunate enough to have our parents that they kind of took the wheel and took charge of that and made sure we were getting all the opportunities we could. So just being able to provide that for kids, that's really all I want to do. And I think last year was the second year we had a free camp for kids from 3rd grade to 12th grade, and it's free. Had about 700 kids out there. So it's awesome, man. It's a great time.
That's awesome, man. And you mentioned your brother Nate, right?
Yes, sir.
So I was with Nate in Philadelphia his rookie year. I was there in camp with him, and then we had a couple reps together too. He was an offensive lineman. I was quarterback. I ended up getting released in the offseason. But how much did that sibling dynamic with you and Nate growing up push you guys to get to that next level and make it to the NFL?
Yeah, bro, all I wanted to do when I was young was be better than my brother. He was
That's awesome.
the best at everything. He was my big bro, and he was always talking trash and telling me I'll never be better than him and I'm worthless, I'm nothing. And at the time, I used to really hate him. Hate's a strong word, but I used to really dislike him. But looking back at it now, that was just his way of motivating me because he saw something in me from a young age, and he knew I could do it. So, man, just having him been able to blaze that path for me and light the trail on fire. Now I get to take that and run my own race, have my own journey. But just the fact that he laid the foundation and really was the first one to do it, it helped me in ways I can't even explain.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So from Hawaii, and then you end up in Wisconsin. So I know that was probably a big culture change for you. What did you learn from your time at Wisconsin that translated best to the NFL?
I think just being tough, man.
Yeah.
The mentally and physically, I got there in January, the middle of January, and it was 10 degrees. So I was like, I'm not used to this. I wasn't, I knew it was going to be cold, but I never experienced anything like that before. And being that far away from home, the time difference is 5 hours, and, it's a long flight. It's 4,000 miles away. So it wasn't a lot of family close to me at the time when I first got there. So just being able to have that mental toughness, and, obviously it's the Big Ten, so you got to have physical toughness because it's a physical sport. So it really made me grow up a lot faster.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So now you're in Pittsburgh. The Steelers have a huge history of great linebackers. How do you balance honoring the tradition that the Steelers have, but also creating your own legacy as a linebacker?
Dude, there's so many great football players and great people that came out of the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. And I see that saying every time you walk in there, the standard is the standard. So any way I can honor them with my play on the field, what I do in the community, how I carry myself, that's what I try to do, man. Try to get a win, get back to that Super Bowl mentality that everybody knows that the Steelers have and have had for generations.
Yeah, that's awesome. And tell me, too, what you've learned now being in Pittsburgh from veterans like T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith. How have they helped you prepare for the NFL and go out there and be able, to make plays on game day?
Yeah, I mean, those guys have been awesome for me. They've really been like role models and guys I could look up to since I got here. It's kind of crazy looking back, like I'm going on year 3. It's wild, man. It flies by. But just things they've taught me of how to practice, how to take care of my body, what I should be putting in my body, how to talk to the media, how to express yourself in other ways besides football, and how a professional is supposed to handle business. And I think both those guys have done a great job of teaching me that.
Now, you guys are on opposite sides of the ball, so I know you probably don't like him very much in practice and during camp, but what's it been like being in the same locker room as Aaron Rodgers? What has he meant to this football team this year?
A-Rod is awesome, man. He's great. Even though he's probably went to high school with my dad, but his old ass, but he's great, man. He's been awesome for our team. Just having that level of prestige in the locker room, and his willingness to just share information with guys like me and rookies and guys. I mean, anybody, literally anybody. He's willing to share information with you to help you get better, help the team. And he's just a great dude, man. He's been awesome. I love Aaron.
All right, now I want to go back to Nate a little bit since I know him. How competitive do things get between you guys, either growing up or now, whether it's workouts, training, maybe even video games at home? Have you guys always had that competitive fire as brothers?
Yeah, and that goes back to like my pops, like because I have an oldest brother too, Jake. So there was 3 of us, and I mean, eating dinner, like drinking a cup of water, like whatever it was like we was all trying to be the best. We trying to be first. Like we'd throw quarters at the wall, like pitch quarters at the wall to see who takes the trash out. Like everything was a competition in my house, and my dad would like lead the charge for that. He led by example, and there was no freebies, there was no gimmies. Like you had to earn everything you had. So my dad wasn't just gonna let you win, and my brothers sure as heck wasn't gonna let me win. So, man, that's been since I could remember. Everything's been a competition in my life.
That's awesome, man. And speaking of competition, I'm sure there's a lot of that in the locker room, but there's also some time off during the bye week to hang out with the guys. Who would you say right now is the funniest teammate in the locker room?
Oh, man, I hate to say this to give this guy props, but it's probably Christian Kuntz.
Okay.
Our long snapper, man. He's the definition of a glue guy. Like he's great for the locker room. He's great for the team. Like he's gonna put his body on the line on the field. Like he knows when to have fun. He knows when to lock in. But that dude's hilarious.
That's cool, man. So take me through game day a little bit. When you're getting ready, you're known as a high motor guy. You get out there, you have to be physical on the defensive side of the ball. What does that pregame hype routine look like for you on Sundays?
Man, honestly, I try to stay as calm as I can up until kickoff. Try to contain myself, try to not save energy, but in a way, like you don't want to peak too early, like I've watched a lot of interviews and looked at a lot of high-level athletes who've done it on the biggest stage, and it's all about keeping your composure, staying calm in the biggest moments. So, I kind of earlier on in my younger career, like you're so hype on game day, like you wake up and I'm bumping Young Boy right when I wake up. But now it's like more of a chill approach, more of a calm approach, and then try to stay that way until it's time to play.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people really understand, unless you've been in it, how physically and mentally draining football season is, from fall camp all the way throughout the season. So it's very important to recharge. And I want to talk about this during the bye week. What does that look like for you? What are some hobbies that you like to do when you have an off week or some time off like this? How do you recharge?
Honestly, just hanging out, like hanging out with my cousin, my friends, maybe go golf or just watch TV, watch movies, play video games, and just relax.
That's all. You're a golfer, man? What's the handicap? I got to know the handicap.
Oh, right now it's probably terrible, but in the summer it was like 18.
Okay. All right. That's not bad, man.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
terrible.
Yeah, no, that's all right, though. Nick, I'll let you get out of here, man. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it, man. Have a good one. Enjoy the bye week.
All right.
Everybody, I'm Cody Kessler. That was Nick Herbig, linebacker
Thank
for the
you.
Pittsburgh Steelers.